Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in my yesterday's YouTube, I have shared that in the traditional Chinese martial arts, there are two different lines of art. One is the authentic traditional Chinese martial art based on Sun Tzu, based on Qi Ji Guang military. That is a momentum-based art. And then in the Qing dynasty, after the Qing take over China, they create something called internal art from the Taoists or from Wudang. So they have their own theory talking about their Neijing, internal Jing, and all the mysterious Taoist thing. Now, so you have these two lines. One is the real one, which is go to battlefield, like Sun Tzu, Qi Ji Guang, Wing Chun 1850s, with the uprising companion or partner, Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat. Those are all the Chinese traditional martial art, which is based on Chinese culture or momentum based. Then you have this internal art, which is created in the Qing dynasty, completely ignore the momentum and say this is a Neijing and all kind of stuff. Like one guy, after he dreamed, the God teach him, the next day he can beat 100 people. While the momentum-based art, Qi Ji Guang said clearly, all this unarmed combat, one-to-one, okay, it can be useful. But when you're facing multiple opponents or in battlefield or war, forget about it, okay? And General Qi Ji Guang have shown you that using his Mandarin duck array, a few of his soldiers don't have to be top soldier, can take down the Japanese pirates, Japanese warrior, who is good in samurai sword and jiu-jitsu. There's a reality of fighting. So all this internal nonsense, like dream, and then you'll be able to, whatever, you have this Jing, and then you'll be invincible. Forget about it. It never happened in the history. That's why those kind of thinking, you'll never be able to face Xi Xiaodong or Mike Tyson. However, if you look at the content of General Qi Ji Guang's training his army, you know if you brought it today, with their training, they can fight Xi Xiaodong, they can fight Mike Tyson. As for the internal art, or the Qi Jing, which is living somewhere in some different world, it'll be hopeless, okay? Now, so there's a short summary, you know what it is. And also, Wing Chun is not a concept art. Wing Chun is a momentum-based art. Okay, now Wing Chun have so many problems. One of the problems is, like this morning, somebody contact me, some friend contact me, and told me that, oh, this is the internal lineage, there's the internal lineage of Wing Chun. Well, forget about it. Those are nonsense. First, there is no momentum-based art, based on Qi Ji Guang and the real deal in the uprising of Canton. Now today I want to share with you something even more simple. So here on, you don't get bullshit by anybody who's selling snake oil. Okay? Real deal is not you have to go to China, you go to the Mars or Venus to interview Grandmaster. Real deal is now you learn it within 5 minutes, you really experience what the heck it is, and you can continue to build yourself up for your health reason or for your self-defense reasons. So it is this bottom line. So now, today I'd like to open this up, completely debunk the all nonsense on Wing Chun. As I shared yesterday, I said that the real Chinese Kung Fu have two parts, like in Qi Ji Guang. One part it is the knowledge, another part it is the action or the implementations or realizations of what is that knowledge about. So that's the real deal. You always have these two parts. Now let's look at the really simple really basic in the Wing Chun. The extremely simple where you learn the first day. The first hour of your learning, taking a Wing Chun class. If you do it properly, this is the way how it is. Okay, so human, as what I share in my model, the 6 core element model. 6 core element model is my model to model on what really is the teaching of 1850s Wing Chun. So anybody, you can see that many so-called internal whatever using my model, but they don't know a thing about it. And today I want to prove this to you, and you can use this as a benchmark where you can train it properly, and then you can look at people. If somebody do not know this, their body don't show it, you know those are just snake oil. Now, we know that 6 core elements have the body, the mind, the breathing. Within the breathing, which include your intra-abdominal pressure or your body's internal pressure, the qi flow, whereas the energy flow based on the Chinese, the channels, the 12 channels, like in the acupuncture, Chinese medicines, the force handling, which is the jing. Jing is just a force, or jing is just a strength with a direction. And a strength with a direction is just a force in physics. And then there's a momentum, where your body mass multiplied by the velocity, you go up or down, or you go in horizontal, in a really simple way, that is the momentum. Momentum is mass multiplied by velocity. Either you go horizontally or you go up, down. This is a very simple way so that you'll be able to know what the heck it is. Now, let's get into it. Everybody in Wing Chun, the first thing they learn in Wing Chun is this. It's called the ladder to stance, e.g. Kam Yong Ma. Well, sorry, those are not clamping goat stance. E.g. Kam Yong Ma or ladder to stance is actually, E.g. is a parallel, meaning parallel. Kam Yong is meaning that activate your yang side, meaning thus the back side muscle down to your feet. That is called the yang side. So E.g. Kam Yong Ma, meaning this stance is a stance which is activate your yang side muscle as the focus. Of course, other muscle you activate, but this is the yang side or the back side of this muscle is the one which is you want to activate. Now, if you practice the 1850s Wing Chun, Xiu Lim Tao, well, you have to use this, 1850s. Not other thing, because after 1850, again, it is made up made up by the Qing people and all kind of stuff. So we want to get what is the proper design so that you'll be able to learn. After this YouTube, you know exactly what the heck it is, what you are developing. Okay, so in the beginning of the 1850 Shulin Tao, you just do this. And then bend down a little bit, you do this. Okay, just let me explain to you. Everybody follow me how to do it so you know exactly what it is. I don't want a sense from you because all this information is from the ancestor of Wing Chun. It is Chinese culture. I only can use it. I don't have the right of own it. And everybody have the right to use it. Okay, so back to the first move of the 1850s Shulin Tao. You are in Yi Kam Yong Ma. Put your hand down, up. Okay, that is actually activating your Yi Kam Yong Ma, or the sixth core element. That is actually to strengthen your body. So what I am talking about? Okay, this is the yang side according to Chinese. If you take away my hand, okay, you see, exhale, my body is like this, no clamping knee, everything, but stand like this. Exhale, inhale, while I'm squat down a little bit. Didn't this tell you this is no different than squat? All of you who go to gym, isn't it that? Yes, it is exactly that. It is a shallow squatting. Look at it again. Okay, so the body, the muscle handling is exactly like squat you do in the gym. You need to do it properly. You're doing squat. You're not going to do squat this way or damage your knee. You're doing this way or this way, squat. So you can handle your entire body, build your muscle, right? When you do squat. Right? Everybody can do that. It's scientific proven. It activates your body major muscle. That's why squat is so important workout. Now, this is about the muscle and how to handling this Yi Kam Yong Ma. Inside there, when the Chinese say qi, there are actually three things. Number one is breathing. Number two is intra-abdominal pressure. Number three is the energy flow in the body channel. So there are three things, three real things. Okay? Now, when you do this, which is, if you just look at it as a squat, guess what? When you do squat, isn't it you inhale when you go down? And when you inhale, you will feel your body, your core here. It is like you solidify your core while you inhale when you squat down. Isn't that true? Do it, try. Inhale, exhale. That exactly is. So in the Yi Kam Yong Ma, when you raise up your hand like this, inhale, you actually solidify, you actually induce the the intra-abdominal pressure. Exactly like the squat. You feel exactly like the squat. You feel stable in your core. When you exhale, that is where your anus lifted up, your balls, if you're a man, lifted up, your butt contract in, your lower abdomen contract in. See what happened, right? Inhale, you let the core, the intra-abdominal pressure here, you fill up. You feel so strong here. When you exhale, you feel that the anus, or actually the pelvic floor muscle, it just lifted up, the stomach contract in, and then the butt contract in. Again, when you inhale, it loosens, the lower abs and the back 360 degree expanded, and it supports the core. Do it. It's like when you do squat. Inhale, exhale. When you inhale, you feel all this thing, it expand, like you feel in your core here, to supporting your spine and everything. There's a type of so-called 心气度丹田. When you exhale, you feel that all this pelvic floor muscle, your anus and everything, automatically, naturally, it lift up, contract your abdomen, lower abs, contract your butt. So, the EG Kamyongma, the very basic practice, is just a squat. You do this squat slowly. Why? Because you don't want to spike your blood pressure. If you do it wrongly, using strength and abruptly, you can spike your blood pressure, especially when you stood up like that, or you jerk your body. Also, this can cause premature PVC, your skip pose, skip your heart pose. Your heart, your heart is posing. You can skip pose. It's called PVC, right? So if you don't do slowly, in a natural way, exhale, let everything do it by itself, contract and everything. You don't even have to try to control it. Inhale, you inhale, it fills up, and it supports your core and everything. If you do it this way, you will have a smooth transitions of your body motions, your breathing, your nervous system, and it is like it trying to avoid the blood pressure spiking and your PVC, your heart skip pose. Okay? So this is for your health and for the very basic. So anybody who do a proper EG Kamyongma should be able to experience like you do a proper squat. And if you do this proper squat like every day 15 times for 1 week, you know you're building your body, you're building your muscle, you're building your core, you're building your breathing, and your entire body get improved. Isn't it? So the EG Kamyongma is like that. Now, I want to talk about another thing called Qi. What? It is a real Qi there? Yes. When your body, your energy is recovered, when you do this, okay, so when you do this part, not this part, this part, when you do this part, due to the changing of the intra-abdominal pressure and your thoracic, your chest pressure, due to the changing of that and the cavity and everything changing that, it will cause, because this is relaxed, loose, it will cause your qi, energy, to flow from the chest level going down to your lower abs or dantian. Anybody who really have that cultivations, it be able to feel a warm sensations from the heart, the chest area, going downward to the lower abs or dantian. So, there are three things here, right? Number one, you need to know how to handle your breathing. Exhale, inhale. Number two, you know that when you inhale, you can sense your lower abs, it expands, your core is so solid. And then when you exhale, you can feel that your anus is raised up naturally, or your pelvic floor muscle is raised up, your stomach is contracting, your butt is contracting. This is called natural. You don't do a thing, try to control this thing. So it is exactly just like a squat. Okay? So all this breathing, intra-abdominal pressure, and the qi flow, all is there. It's just like do a squat, but do the squat slowly. And you don't have to squat really low. It's just a shallow squat. That way, you develop your physical, you develop your breathing, you develop your intra-abdominal pressure, you develop your qi, energy, like the Chinese medicines, the 12 meridians and the Ren channel and so forth, the qi circulations. So, the first day you go to school to train Wing Chun, it is exactly like you're learning how to do squat properly. And then you do like 15 times, 30 times a day to build your body. After 1 week, the body change. So you have the qi, you have the intra-abdominal pressure, you have the breathing, you have the qi flow in the Chinese sense, the energy flow. You have everything. So what the heck is this internal Tai Chi-like? But none have this developed. So you can train all this internal whatever bullshit. It is not as good as you just do 30 shallow, slow squat every day for a month. And you don't have that power. You don't have that strength as you are practicing the squat 30 times a day for 1 month. So one can keep on talking about qi, internal, interview this, grandmaster that, grandmaster what? You couldn't even do a squat. And the Chinese, the ancestor of Wing Chun is not the idiot. That's why the Wing Chun 1850, it start with this. It start with squat. That's how it condition your body, your muscle, your proper skeleton structure, your kinetic chain, your breathing, your intra-abdominal pressure, and the flow of the qi in your body. Anybody who have reach that state will feel, will sense. For example, you're standing, when you exhale, this is a contract when you exhale, where the lower abs contract and the pivot four muscle lift up, you can feel that flow, that warm feeling is going down. You do not saying, well, I need to do this and do that and do that. It's just this. So you can all this internal, yes, I know what? Human is human. It doesn't matter 450 years ago or today. It doesn't matter you're American or you're Chinese. It doesn't matter. Everybody have the same body. You do that natural stuff, that is how you strengthening your body. Okay? So, if you cannot get your Yi Kam Yong Ma proper, whatever you do it, just go do slowly, do squat. Get a gym trainer, instructor, a coach to teach you. So you know, oh, this is my core, now it's solidified. Oh, now I stand up, it's squeezed in. How difficult it is. You don't have to pay me a cent. This is what it is. So this is what I like to share with you. If you couldn't even get your Yi Kam Yong Ma proper, what are you talking about? Of other martial art, fighting art, Qi, Jing, you fly away, you push me. Push what? If you don't train your student this way, of course when you get pushed, you fly away. Why? You couldn't even do a squat. So this is what I like to share with you, okay? Be smart. Stop all those nonsense. Why spend all the time, the money, and don't get nothing? So again, if you do not know how to do Yi Kam Yong Ma, go learn how to do a squat. That way, medically, scientifically, it's proven what you do is a beneficial stuff. Not like this. Not like this. Or not internal, and you say, shit, he doesn't even know how to handle this part and this part naturally, like the guy who do squat. So there is no mysterious in Chinese Kung Fu. The most advanced, like the Qi and everything, it exists within a squat,